The village of Patchogue is a pioneer in downtown revitalization. They were the first to create a must-visit dining scene on Long Island, drawing crowds to the South Shore. Over the past 20 years, the village's profile has grown younger. On weekends, Patchogue is bustling, traffic crawls, the bars play loud music, and many of the restaurants are filled with reservations. How did all of this growth start? What places do I need to try? And what happens to a town that develops so quickly? I made my way east to experience all of the action for myself. Join me as I explore one of Long Island's hottest dining destinations, Patchogue. Patchogue is a natural center for change, a transportation hub with the LIRR, ferry service to Fire Island, and an airport just minutes away. The town used to be a regional commercial and retail center in the 1950s, but in the 70s and early 80s, when Sunrise Highway was built nearby, Patchogue's business district started to decline. Vacancies multiplied, and the last department store closed in 2003, leaving behind a main street deserted, just a shadow of what it once was.
But a lot has changed, and fast. If you want to eat well and have fun here, these are the spots that are a must on your hit list.
This time was coming soon.
During the dark times of Main Street history, there was one early settler who made it its mission to bring Patchogue back to life. In 1996, the Brickhouse Brewery and Restaurant opened in a century-old building on East Main Street, long before other eateries. 4 local Patchogue boys unveiled Long Island's first brewery and also gave locals hope that the town could renew and improve.
So why did the owners choose this spot to open Brickhouse?
A couple of the owners, they were out on a business trip, and they had gone to a brew pub in that state, and they really enjoyed the vibe of having the brewery and the restaurant in the same building, and they just wanted to give back to their community. They were natives. They wanted to see Main Street get revitalized.
So tell me what we have, because it looks like I'm probably going to start light to dark.
Yes. So right now, this beer is brewed with fresh clementines as well as craisins.
That's light, it's nice. I could get into this when the weather's warm.
A little bit of that citrus pop.
Yeah.
It's not too fruity, it's still balanced and refreshing.
It reminds me of like a Hefeweizen.
Yes.
Right? And then it gets darker, we've got...
This one is a spice beer. It's made with Long Island pumpkins as well, and our own spice blend as well as fresh ginger.
Okay.
And this is our Brickhouse Red, which is one of our staple 5. It's a malty English style red that's got some chocolate notes as well as a little bit of nutty and toffee notes as well.
You guys have been here for a long time. The mayor has been given a lot of credit as well for really helping to revitalize and making what's so great about Patchogue now. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, all you have to do is look at Main Street. And at this point, people know how to pronounce the name, so that's definitely a big change.
What was it before, then, if you wouldn't know?
Patchogue, 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 you name it,
Okay.
they butchered it. It's been night and day in the last 10 years alone.
Mayor Paul Pontieri has lived in Patchogue his entire life, and most all of his family members, including 52 first cousins, still live in the neighborhood.
Grew up in this place. We have seen it through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The mayor, whose father ran a luncheonette on South Ocean Avenue in the 50s, credits some of the Renaissance to the construction of new housing downtown. 2 decades later, countless other restaurants have opened their doors. Bobby Q began serving in 2006, then Parabelle Food Bar debuted just down the street. Dozens of new eateries in the hub of downtown Patchogue cater to tastes for coffee, beer, brunch, and burgers. The choices are bountiful. Instead of just one dependable coffee spot, there are 3.
Patchogue is really the town. You know, people are questioning Manhattan, right? They're questioning New York City is, will it ever be oversaturated? And the cool thing about it is that people from Manhattan are actually coming and partying in Patchogue.
That's me.
So exactly. So I think, you know, Patchogue has been full of energy, full of youth. We have a great chamber here, and I think hats off to everybody in this community to continue to make what it is.
Thank you.
Let's grab a bite at Catch Oyster Bar, a former hair salon that's now the spot for fresh oysters, a cold brew, and a good time.
So tell me about Catch. This is a place where locals can come to get fresh oysters, so many more things, right?
Absolutely. We've got a lot of really fresh seafood, and we try to stay as local as possible with everything that we get.
The Brickhouse Brewery was sort of the original Kickstarter to all of this, and your father was once an owner.
Sure, yeah, he was a partner when they opened that up. We like to say it was kind of like the start of this whole, revitalization process in Patchogue. Right now, it's a younger town, but there's so much for everybody of all ages. You know, seafood never goes out of style.
Never, for sure.
Catch isn't the only restaurant that's mastered seafood. So has Toro, tapas, and tequilas.
Barcelona is like my soul. It's my second home in a way. I go there every summer. So when I saw that you guys were here in Patchogue, I'm like, I gotta go there for whenever I need my Spanish food fix.
Luckily, I found a chef who knew the right ingredients, the right balance, which is everything.
Now you lived in Patchogue for, you said half your life, you told me earlier, right?
Half my life. New mayor came in. He first started with the condominiums on South Ocean Avenue, and his idea progressed slowly and slowly and slowly to Main Street.
We're gonna go into the kitchen, and I'll cook with your chef and see all the beautiful things you have on the menu. We're gonna put him to bed for a little while to get nice and warm. Oh, and the legs immediately start cooking and curling up. We're gonna let that saute. What do you need now?
I need potatoes with onions.
Okay, potatoes and onions. Very classic Spanish preparation.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
So let's plate it then. Is it ready?
Yeah, it's ready
Okay,
for plate.
let's plate. Potatoes. They're definitely nice and crispy. I see that little golden brown happening. And we're gonna add the pulpo, our octopus. Get those nice slash marks inside so that when you take it to the table, when you guys order it, it's much easier for you to have a nice bite. And what are you adding?
It's lemon aioli.
Adds a nice creamy texture to the octopus dish. All right, so that's lemon foam.
Yes.
I think that looks beautiful. And thanks to you, you have these bites already happening for me. I'm gonna go in for a nice crispy suction. A little microgreen, a little lemon foam in the potato. Are you ready? Uh-oh.
Good?
That is so good. Chef Andres, thank you so much. That's really delicious. Do you think there'll ever be a time where there's too much action, too many businesses opening?
I don't know whether you know that. You know, is it going to be a cost factor? Is it going to be that we run out of buildings? It's an infrastructure issue that we have to deal with.
The possibility of overdevelopment hasn't deterred innovative young entrepreneurs from choosing to bring their business know-how to the town's growing scene. One of these entrepreneurs is Ace Coffee owner Brian Lentini, who loves that he was able to open his business where he grew up.
I've always loved Patchogue. What's way different from when I was growing up, my father had a store on Main Street in the 80s. I can't even think of one restaurant. I actually don't think there was one restaurant on Main Street.
His roastery supplies brews to other businesses around the island, including Knoll Cafe, also home to fellow entrepreneur Mackenzie Miller.
You are a Long Island native, of course, and you're in a town over is kind of your hometown?
Yeah. So I grew up in Bayport, Blue Point. My family has a few places in Patchogue, so I was always around Main Street, around Patchogue area. So for me, this is home.
Mackenzie, these are flavors that I know really well. Growing up Korean, you know, having like the tuna, of course, and the edamame, the ginger and the carrots and that dressing. It's really, really delicious. Okay, so I've had my meal. Now we're gonna skip over to the acai. So this is not just acai, it is your own special mix, Knowles mix.
Right.
It reminds me in consistency of kind of like, it's not creamy like an avocado, but it does have the fat, so it has a richness.
Right, it's almost like a sorbet.
Yeah,
it's
like an awesome rich sorbet.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do to dress this thing?
So we dress it with our homemade granola, banana right down the middle, blueberries, strawberries, topped with coconut, and then honey.
I mean, a lot of the times, I don't know about you guys, but when you think of coconut, it can be very sweet, but it's not natural. I mean, that has been sweetened with sugar, and this isn't.
No,
so
unsweetened.
that is beautiful. And then we're gonna top it with honey?
Yep.
Okay, let's go for the dive. All right, I definitely must get, I won't be able to get everything in here, but I gotta try your homemade acai blend. How am I gonna get to it, Mackenzie? This is loaded.
I know.
Okay, I want some texture and crunch. Really tasty. Love the texture combinations. The colors are great. Thank you so much, Mackenzie.
You're welcome.
I'm out of here with mine. acai bowl.
Following you.
More than 2 decades after Brickhouse Brewery first opened, the beer still flows and other new eateries welcome diners along its main street and beyond. The town is a great example of how well-planned development and commerce can change a former downtrodden area into a thriving modern community.